Start us off with part two, Cal.
Hmm. So, welcome to technical difficulties of the show. Um, as you can see, we've done a few things here. Isn't that right?
We have.
Ranking the Pokemon main series games. Um, and I think the best way to do this is,
Through song and dance.
yeah, interpretive dance if you could. Um, we should go through each of the tiers,
Mm-hmm.
one after another, like us back and forth, and then explain why we have the games in there briefly, like
Okay.
each one, and then just like do that. You think that would be
Okay.
good?
I think that would be good.
And that'll just explain to everybody like what the situation is.
Yes. Because we've listed, I believe, 20 games already.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Um, so I'll start with this one.
Okay.
Our number one choice that we pick at the end, out of the best ones up here. So
And the
the
GG
best of
tier.
the best. Yes. What is that tier?
So the GG tier is what we think are quality games. It's not our official pick because we still have to decide that at the end,
Yep.
but it is a top-notch quality game.
So
We got
what are some short synopses
so
for these four?
Alpha Sapphire, it's kind of like an improved version of the base Gen 3 games. You got the nice graphics, you got the legendary hunting, you've got all the fun, a lot more fun shenanigans. The Delta episode, you really get to build into the game. And then you get Pokemon Crystal, which is like the combination of the Gen 2 games combined. And that's also a good time. That makes it instantly better. You get to go travel through the Gen 1 region again. You get cute little animations in the battles for the first time, and not just hits and sounds and color. It has hints of color too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pokemon Emerald, great Gen 3 game. It's that culmination game, just like Pokemon Crystal, and soon to be ranked Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a great time. You get Rayquaza, Callum's favorite legendary Pokemon. He loves it. And then you have the Pokemon Moon, which is from Gen 7,
Mm-hmm.
which that's a controversial opinion, but you get
Yeah.
a lot of funness, a lot of different mechanics, and a Alolan form. So you get different forms of Pokemon too, and
Yeah.
Ultra Beast.
And Ultra Beast. Yeah, we didn't really mention that the first time.
Or is that in just the Ultra Sun and Moon?
No, I mean there's Ultra Beast in the first ones too.
Okay.
They added more in the other ones,
Okay. Yeah.
and they also added the was it the Ultra Space
Yeah.
thing.
The space wormholes.
So yeah. Then moving on to the tier under that, we have Temtem, which is it's like all right, you know, but it's not like a top quality Pokemon game.
Yeah. But it's
Again,
still a
shots
good.
fired.
It's still a good game, but not.
Yeah, just not like one of the best.
Yeah.
Um, so in that we have what is that? Black two.
That is Black 2.
Black two, just because I mean I feel like automatically it's better than Black, but also, or technically I haven't really played a lot of the Gen 5 games, but I think like it's got more Pokemon.
Yeah, it's got
It's got
more
the
of the
fusions,
original
which are
Pokemon.
cool. Yeah. So I feel like automatically that just kind of bumps it up. Um, and we've got Fire Red, so Gen 1 remakes. And again, I think that was like the Pokemon that are in that generation are really good. In that specific version, I should say. And just I don't know, it's just really it's a solid game. I mean, that's kind of the theme
That's
for all these.
yeah.
Is like
These are
it's good.
solid games.
It's good. So you got both of the Gen 2 remakes, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Again, they're both just like solid. Um, and higher than the normal Gen 2 because they're just improved. Like
Yeah.
remakes are generally just better,
Improved.
I think.
Yeah.
Um, Let's Go, both of the Let's Goes, because it was basically like they didn't quite make it to the top tier because of the battling systems and the moves and things. But other
There's
than
still
that,
like
I mean,
you get Pokemon following you. You got
yeah, and like the overworld with the shinies
mhm.
and everything is just like really, really good, but just not quite the best. And then Omega Ruby, which is underneath Alpha Sapphire purely because
Just
like the
better.
available Pokemon,
Yeah.
you know,
It
is
lost.
not as good.
It lost the version exclusive fight.
Yeah. Next one.
That is the unknown tier where it's just kind of like these are games. That's
Yeah.
really it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe nothing super special. Just these are games. So we got Pokemon Black 1 because it's not as good as Black 2, but it's not like terrible. We got Pokemon Blue, which kind of is just like I think the best way to describe why it's there is like this is the first game. This is the baseline.
Mm-hmm.
So the games from here on out could either be better than this or could be worse than this.
Yeah.
Um, and then we got Diamond and Pearl, the originals, because they have like a culmination game like Emerald and what's the other one? Crystal.
Crystal.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. So we got the culmination game. So it can't, and it's typically not. They're typically not as good. And it's got like some like pretty decent version exclusives. We don't really like. Neither of us have played those games, so we don't have like enough information to put in a formal opinion on it.
Yeah. And that leads us to the bottom of the Digimon,
Mm-hmm.
which is sad, but Digimon games aren't good,
No,
unfortunately.
it's real unfortunate.
And this is probably going to be upsetting,
Okay, so
specifically right
I
here.
was say the leaf green being there is purely my vendetta against
Yeah.
leaf green. That's it.
Yeah. You said it was Lorelei.
Yes, Lorelei. For some reason,
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe I changed any team members or anything like that, but she was significantly harder and it upset me. So leaf green got lowered to Digimon tier.
Yep. And then for both the Gen 2 games, um, well, they're just not as good as.
Crystal blows them out of the water, in my opinion.
I mean,
But
yeah,
then they're not as good as the remakes too.
yeah. Um, and also, I just through my playing of them, even though I didn't finish, they just they're not they're not that good.
No.
I don't know. I explained before that when I first played through Gen 3, I just used all the Pokemon that I caught immediately and went the entire game with that. But I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do that with Gen 2 because the Pokemon were just so bad. And I feel like that's a problem. I mean, yeah, I could have just picked different ones, but like, I shouldn't have to, you know?
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah. So, and just in general, I feel like the Pokemon aren't that exciting. I mean, as shown from our memory challenge,
Uh,
where we we couldn't remember them.
Shout out to Tom's comment about how distraught I felt about forgetting Shuckle.
Yeah, I mean that's just anyone would be upset by that. And then the final one is Japanese because these are the
Japanese
Japanese
games.
exclusive
So,
games, and I haven't played that,
no,
so
neither have I.
yeah,
You want
they're
to
not
just
bad.
throw that the Japanese Pokemon Red in there just right now?
Yeah, I
Take
was
care of it.
waiting for it. Yeah, there you go. Now
Ta-da!
it's nice and clean.
All right,
So
Pokemon Platinum.
yes,
So
hmm,
culmination of Diamond and Pearl. And I think this is like Emerald and Crystal. They had like a little bit extra content, but I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that Platinum added like a significant amount of content. And but don't hold me to that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you honestly.
And then Pokemon Platinum does not have the following Pokemon: the Murkrow line, the Mischievous line, the Trapinch line, actually,
Huh.
um, Clamperl with both evolutions,
Hmm.
Glameow, Purugly, Stunky, and Stunktank. Which I feel like it's such a weird group to not be in the games.
That's a lot of like Gen 4 Pokemon.
Yeah,
I know that's funny because it's Gen 4, but it's
it's
like
like leaving
some of
out a
those
piece
were
of
like
it.
the ones that evolved for the first time in Gen 4, like Murkrow and Mischievous.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems really odd that they would be like, yeah, these ones that we just made, no, they're not going to be in here
Yeah.
in the culmination game.
Mm-hmm.
So strange. But
Very strange.
what do we think overall then? Because
So
the
hold on.
other two ones are pretty high up
Yeah,
there.
let me tell you the exclusive Pokemon to Platinum
Okay.
because it makes sense, but then it doesn't.
Oh,
So
good.
in you can get Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres in the game, as well as Giratina. Can't get them in any other game. But
That's
it
cool.
also has Tangela, Tangrowth, and Tropius.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
why them?
Yeah. Yeah, why? Who
Wait,
decided,
whose idea was this?
like, guys, do we have Tropius in this game? Um,
No. All
no.
right, let's get Tropius in.
Put him in there.
So here's the question. So I'm pretty sure we both agree that it's better than the Gen 4 games because it's the
Yeah, I
culmination.
mean, I feel like it kind of has to be by default.
But is it better than the remakes? Because I can't say for certain.
Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. I feel like it should go just one step up.
Yeah,
I think that just makes sense.
that does make sense.
Because, like, I mean, again, I've never played it, but I feel like it's probably not up here with these guys.
No,
Also, I just
I think
realized it's
that.
going to be even funnier when Kenny Mac sees this, but then sees Gen 7 at the
Oh,
top.
he's gonna be so pissed off about that.
He's going to be so bothered. Nice. All right, well, moving on.
All right,
We've
Pokemon
got,
Red.
yeah, the OG
I think that has to go in the unknown, pretty much for the same reason as I said for earlier with Blue.
for blue.
It's
Yeah.
like this is the baseline.
Yeah, and
Like
that just makes sense.
it could be a good game, it could be a bad game, but it's like these are what we're starting with. You can go either
Because
way from here.
overall, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's just like, you're right. Like anything after that is where you really make your decision.
Yeah. Which
Mm,
it's Ruby and Sapphire, which I feel like we can do at the same time because
yeah, I mean, if they're together and they're basically the same. Let's hear some versions,
all
version
right, version
exclusives.
exclusives. Ooh, there's a lot.
Oh dear.
No, there's not
Damn.
a lot. So Ruby's first. So let's start with Ruby. Ruby,
Okay.
you can get the C dot line:
Nice.
Mawile, Zangoose, Solrock, Groudon.
Hmm.
Not bad, not bad. And then in Sapphire, you can get Lotad line: Sableye, Seviper, Lunatone, Kyogre.
Hmm.
So I will say, at first, like Groudon versus Kyogre, that's I know your opinion on that, which it's
Hmm.
Groudon for
Yes.
those of you playing along at home.
Correct.
But for the other Pokemon, I would feel more compelled to play Sapphire over Ruby. Like,
Hmm.
I don't care about the Shiftry line. Ludicolo is hilarious.
Yes.
Mawile versus Sableye, that's kind of like a eh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Zangoose versus Seviper. I don't I don't care really a lot about either of them,
Yeah.
but I
Same.
don't care more about Zangoose.
Agreed.
Like, if that's a Pokemon that never appeared in another game, I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
Where,
Definitely.
like, Seviper, I would at least think of Seviper.
Mm-hmm.
And then Solrock and Lunatone, they're just. I think they're, like, just made to be version exclusives, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what they are. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's really pretty much every one of those Pokemon I don't care about.
Yeah.
But Groudon. Groudon.
And Groudon versus. So, let's go a
That's
little
all
bit
I'm.
into, like, what the evil team's purposes are.
Oh, okay.
So, Groudon, Team Magma wants to rid the world of water. And then in Sapphire with Kyogre, Team Aqua wants to drown everyone.
Yes.
Which would you prefer? Dehydration or drowning?
I feel like I mean, I don't know about how I want to die, but I feel like Team Aqua's just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, imagine Team Magma wins and they get rid of all the water and then it's just land. It's like, okay. Like, nobody dies immediately. It's just kind of like, why'd you do that? Like,
Yeah.
everyone just standing around, like,
Everyone
what
would
was
be
the
pissed
point?
about it.
Yeah. Like, why?
Why? Why?
Why?
Like,
You
no
know, you need
serious, like,
water to live.
not like,
Like,
no serious, like, movie, like, we gotta fix everything, get everything back to normal. Everyone's just standing around. It's like, why'd you do this?
like, I yeah, I'm just like more baffled by that one because I like they had to make a counter to the water one, but it's just like you want to make everything
Dry.
land, okay? Yeah, so
I will
I feel
say
like
though, this game also probably had some of my favorite maps, like the map design and layouts and stuff.
agreed. God, yeah, I feel like Sapphire kind of beats out Ruby
Yeah,
just a little bit, but
the team makes sense, but
yeah,
I feel like it's a battle of unknown versus Temtem, not.
yeah, I can agree with that. I just don't know. I won't let my uh opinion get in the way. I feel like this is probably
Your blatant favoritism.
yeah. I won't do it. But that kind of hurts because I love Gen 3.
Yeah, but it's also like it kind of also makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, the remakes are up here for a reason
Yeah,
because it's like
they're good.
solid games to begin with and then they just made it better. Now,
Pokemon Shield, which I believe is
is
your main game.
that is what I played, yeah. I was just playing it earlier before we started.
Yes, yes, you were.
Um so this is tough for me, this generation as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
because there's I feel like a lot of good things,
But also a lot of bad things.
quite a few bad things.
All right, so let's start off. What are your top three favorite things about this generation?
Pokemon designs.
Pokemon designs.
I feel like there were a ton of Pokemon that just looked great.
Okay.
Like just really solid Pokemon. I mean, Sandaconda, Centiskorch. Um,
Those are great.
you had like, well, the regional variants were super cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, uh, I almost said Toxapex, but Toxicity, really cool.
And
Appleton,
Toxapex.
amazing. Um, like just there. I mean, I could go through a bunch of them, but they're just all really
Yeah,
solid. Um, the theme of the generation, like the region
yeah. The
being England.
England.
I mean,
That's
amazing.
not that's not favoritism, is it?
Slightly, but it's like you had the NPCs
Yeah,
saying like English slang and like texting with accents, which was
yeah.
fun. And you had a lot of references to English stuff,
Mhm.
um, like even in the Pokemon themselves. So that was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good stuff. And then I would say it's some really good music,
It did. Best.
like the
The
gym music.
the gym music is arguably the best theme Pokemon's ever produced, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
I've regularly listened to it.
Hmm.
Just the music, not even playing the game. I
Oh
pull it
yeah,
up on YouTube and I play it while driving.
it's just yeah,
I
it's
show up
it's a
in
yeah, it's a
style.
bop.
It is a bop.
And that would be like my top three. But I would also say I really liked the character designs in the game.
Yeah. Everyone looked very unique and different.
Yeah.
Um, I liked the Pokemon designs, just like you did. They
Hmm.
created some of the, like, in my opinion, the most, like, the coolest looking Pokemon. Or,
Yep.
like, they really took, like, a concept that would work in the region and just went,
Hmm.
we're going full force.
Yeah.
Um, I was a big fan of that. I was a big fan of the music, as previously stated. I also
Hmm.
I was a fan of the lore too. Like who is
Yeah.
this sword and shield guy? Is it a warrior? No,
Hmm.
it's a Pokemon. Wait.
Yeah.
Is there even a guy, or is it just Pokemon? Like I liked that,
It's two Pokemon.
like overarching kind of mysterious, like finding the lore behind the Pokemon, where it's not like, oh, it's an evil team. We're gonna bring back this Pokemon. It's like
Yeah.
I like the evil people in the games had no, like, they weren't like, oh, we're gonna bring back this version, like this legendary box art.
Hmm.
So I was a big fan of that.
Yeah. They're just kind of doing their own thing, and then
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, evil."
yeah. So here are the version exclusives to Shield.
Okay.
So you have Galarian Ponyta, Galarian Rapidash,
Yep.
the Larvitar line,
Hmm.
the Gudra line,
Ooh,
Lunatone, Galarian Corsola and Cursula,
quality.
Mandibuzz line,
Mm.
Aromatisse line, Reuniclus line, Oranguru, Ice-Q, Sableye, Drampa, the Lotad line, everyone's favorite version exclusive, um,
Right.
Croagunk, Toxicroak,
Hmm.
Basculin, Female Indeedee, Appleton, and Zamazenta.
That's pretty high quality.
That's a that's quite a grouping.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Um, do you want to just list sword
All
and just
right,
do these
yeah,
together because they're almost right next to each other?
yeah.
It's
There's a
just
little
Ultra
soul
Sun in the
delay
middle.
in the way.
Yeah.
So
Or
Pokemon
that's normal
Sword
sun.
has the Hydreigon line,
Okay.
Komodo line,
Ooh.
Galarian Farfetch'd as well as Surfetch'd,
Hmm.
Solrock, Galarian Darmanitan line,
Ooh.
everyone's favorite Thigh Gap Stonejourner, Passimian, Scrafty, Malindeedy, Red Striped Basculin, the Shifty line, because if you don't have the Lotad line, you're gonna have the Shifty line.
That's just how it goes.
Mawile, the
Hmm.
Gothitelle line, Rufflet and Braviary, Swirlix and Swirpuff, Turtonator, Flapple, and Zacian.
Also not bad.
I I think those are very balanced
Yeah,
because you get
that's. Mm.
on one side you get Hydreigon, the other side you get Tyranitar.
Yeah.
You can get Galarian
Hmm.
Corsola and Cursula, or you can get Galarian Darumaka and Darmanitan.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's a very solid, like.
It's a really good split.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I think I prefer Shield still, for the most part.
You know what? I've done it a couple times. I'm gonna make him the tiebreaker again. I would say Shield is better because of having the version exclusive of all version exclusives, Ludicolo.
I, yeah, well, obviously. I mean, that just makes sense. But I feel like before we rank both of them, you gotta talk about the bad things.
Oh yeah.
I said what was.
What? I lost you there.
We said what was good,
Oh yeah, but now it's
but
bad.
yeah,
First off, not a big fan of the hand holding aspect, like it did, where it's like meet Hop here, and he's just like down the road. Hi. And then Hop's like, cool, I'm gonna go to the gym. Hi. And he's like 30 feet in front of you, and it's like, you know, give me some room, man.
yeah,
I'm gonna
I
explore
can
some
agree with that.
things. So
They've
then,
definitely done that more and more as time goes on,
yeah.
like with the games.
I didn't like that. And then I know another big complaint that a lot of people have is a lot of the story seems to happen around you with like Leon and stuff. So it's like
Yes.
the other games, it's like, oh no, this building it's like falling apart, and then everyone goes outside, and then you're like, oh, it's because I took a fossil from the Sand Temple, like in Gen 3. Well, and
Mm-hmm.
then in this game, it's like, hey, you know what? I got this. Champion Leon away. Whoosh. Also,
Yeah.
real butthurt about how before all the DLCs and stuff they went, only Charizard. That's the only original starter to be in this game. Charmander. Who were
Yeah.
the other two? No. Charmander is trash compared to my boy Bulbasaur.
Ooh, hot take.
It's not a hot take, it's the right take.
You tell him.
I'm looking at you, Tom.
He really is.
Looking right at
Um,
you.
I could talk for a long time about how I feel about Gen 8.
But we don't have a long time.
I might just do that on our normal Castpod episode. Have we done that already?
We started creating our own Pokemon region, but that's about it.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I can rant about Gen 8. Um, but to go over really quickly, the story, um, it was interesting,
But they didn't
but
execute it properly.
not at all.
All right.
Like you saw bits and pieces of things, of like character development and plot points that they never did anything with.
Yeah.
Um,
Didn't even touch.
like Chairman Rose's assistant, Liana or
Yeah.
something. It was like implied that she was crazy,
Oh yeah. And then
but she said maybe 2 words throughout the whole game,
yeah.
and then like right near the end, you fight her and she's full crazy,
Yeah.
and you're like, where did that come from?
I wanted
Like,
her. So I knew from the beginning that Leon was not going to be a bad guy,
yeah,
and I wanted what I wanted was Chairman Rose to be telling Leon things,
hmm
which kind of is what he did.
yeah,
However, I want Chairman Rose to fully believe, like D&D alignment be actually like lawful good. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He's a genuinely good guy, not
yeah,
kind of mischievous or walking around in a bathing suit while you're trying to fight and go to the gym, but you have to stop and see him afterwards. Anyway,
hmm
um,
yes,
and then it's like and have her be kind of like puppeteering the both of them.
hmm
Like that's what I
that
wanted from her, but
would have been cool.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like they didn't do anything with that. And like you could say that with every character. Every character was like, I am this way when you meet them. And then you meet them at the end, they're like, I have developed,
A
and
lot.
there's no in between.
Yeah.
Like Marnie was
Marnie,
like,
yeah, that's exactly what I was
I'm
thinking.
standoffish and whatever. I'm gonna win. And then at the end, it's like, I have taken on new responsibilities, and I am a different person now.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And like
That okay?
Bede, the guy who's
Oh,
like,
BD or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, I'm gonna be a d bag to you all
Mm-hmm.
getting along. Oh, what's this? You want me to become the new fairy type gym leader?
Okay.
Consider it done.
You could just every single character was like development, but no lead up.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the story. It was like you're just kind of going through doing the gym thing, and then every once in a while they're like, "Did you know there's like a sword and a shield?"
Hmm.
Anyways,
Yeah, I liked.
and then you get right to the end, and it's like, "Here's a Pokemon you never heard of. It's the bad guy.
Yeah,
Beat it. You did it. Good job."
I liked the concept of the lore that they had,
Yeah.
but like I said before we started listening to bad things,
Yes.
good concept, poor execution.
Yes. 100%.
All right.
So, story really shuts it down for me, and then you can go into like, oh, the graphics didn't get much better. Everything's repeated. They said it was going to be better, but it's not.
Yeah.
The wild area looks like poo.
Why do they
Uh,
not have every single Pokemon in the game?
yep, like
It's on the
you
Switch.
go
It
you
should
go
be.
through all those, but really my biggest gripe is the story.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, let's put these somewhere, shall we?
Shall we? Also, we
What are
shall.
you thinking? Shall we? Can't or shouldn't?
Post isn't.
Um,
Um,
I feel like it goes right here.
yeah, unknown is either like it's not going higher than that in my opinion.
No, because like it has good bits, but there's like so many bad
Best
bits, and
theme,
just the fact that DLC existed in general, I
yeah,
think, is a problem. That you had to pay for. If it was
yeah,
just like, haha,
additional
surprise,
free
download
DLC.
this for extra stuff, it's like, whoa, that's cool.
I have my own gripes with DLC, like
But
pay for
no,
DLC.
yeah, because it's just like it's part of the game, right?
Yeah,
Just put it in. Because if like I mean, previous Pokemon games, they would be like, oh, this game's been out for a while, but we're throwing in this thing. If you use like this code or whatever, like you can get more Pokemon that weren't there
yeah.
before, or
Or go to GameStop, get
doing
this card.
yeah, like do that stuff. But they're like, hey, we made a bunch of stuff that would have been really cool to have before. Buy it. No, I mean I did, but why? Why'd you make me do that? So yeah.
Yeah,
Are we putting them both in unknown? You think?
yeah. I think they would both be an unknown.
Yeah, I don't think they're different enough to warrant them being in different tiers. But really teetering on Digimon, I will say.
Yeah, I would like.
Only because like they're not in there because of the good things.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, but uh,
if
I
the
don't know
good
why I
thing
said
like
that.
the music wasn't so good, if it wasn't like such a like cool Pokemon, like if they came out
Yeah,
with some real duds, I'd be like,
yeah, yeah. It'd be pretty low,
maybe low.
but not quite as bad as Gen 2. Shout out Kenny Man. Man,
All right, Pokemon Sun.
Pokemon Sun.
I thought it was a good game.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
it's pretty like
you.
I I get the hype for Solgaleo.
Hmm.
I get it. I'm just not as big into cats
Yeah, as bats.
as
Wow, they really
bats.
didn't think that hard when they were going.
Bats and
They went,
cats. Yeah.
bat, cat, dat. That's it.
I will say I thought
That's the
Moon was
creative process.
definitely gonna be a wolf.
I thought, yeah, Moon. I'm a little surprised that Sun is a lion and Moon is
Is a
a
bat.
wolf. Yeah, I like
It
how
was
it's a
like
bat. Don't get me wrong,
no,
but
it's
I thought it
awesome
was gonna be a wolf.
because like you see Sun and you're like, wow, it's like a lion. It's like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And then Moon is, oh, it's a bat. Nice.
and
But
they
yeah,
brought the wolves in for the next generation.
they are you Pokemon Company?
Hi, I'm what you call Game Freak. My dad works for Nintendo.
It's amazing.
Speaking of which, I wonder if you responded to my email.
Good question. Where do we want to put Sun then?
All right,
What are
so
we
here
thinking?
here are the version exclusives of Sun that aren't in Moon.
Sure.
The Alolan Vulpix line, which I feel like that's a very building thing to begin with.
Yeah.
Cranidos and Rampardos, Katane and Whimsicott, Caracosta line, Braviary line, Passimian, Turtonator, Buzzwole, and Kartana. I feel like that is a very
Hmm.
good version exclusive lineup.
Turtonator, Buzzwole, and Kartana. I am definitely
That's
for.
that's a good one. I'm a big Passimian fan. He was actually on my team.
Passimian's pretty cool.
Caracosta is my favorite of Gen
Mm-hmm.
5 fossils. Rampardos is not my favorite of the Gen 4 fossils, as we've mentioned a bunch of times. But
Yes. Yes.
it is still a good Pokemon.
Wait, did we mention any of that?
Maybe not in this episode.
Maybe that's in the lost episode.
The last episode. We're already declaring lost.
Oh, dang it. Um, so yeah. Um, yeah, sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good.
So I would say
But
it's probably
what do
GG
we
tier.
just put it right there with
Yeah,
Moon?
right next to
God, they're
Moon.
gonna be so pissed.
Oh, we're gonna have so many
Just like
enemies.
okay, but here's an interesting one. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Better or worse?
I feel like this is one of the sequels where it's not better than the original.
I think I think it's too similar. Like,
Right?
don't get me wrong, they do a different like at the end, and then you have like
Yeah.
Emerald and Crystal, which technically it is the same story, but it's also like they make it different enough
Mm-hmm.
that you don't like replay the exact same game. Kind of like
Yeah.
in like same with like Black and White 2.
They
There
like
was
change it.
there's changes, but
Mm-hmm.
I think up until pretty much the final, like after you beat the champion stuff,
Yeah.
you're like they tweak the challenges a little bit and tweak the Pokemon a little bit, but that's it.
Isn't isn't Black 2 and White 2 actually like a sequel though? Like doesn't it happen like after the
Yeah,
original? Or is it
it's a legitimate like after the original. Like there's new gym leaders,
yeah.
there's a little bit more story. There's Kirim.
So yeah, like Sun and Ultra Sun and Moon, it's literally like
It's almost more of a replay than a new
it
game.
feels like it feels like that should be DLC. Like just
Yeah,
take the end of Ultra Sun and Moon and shove it into Sun and Moon, right?
yeah.
So I feel like it's just not.
It's not like distinct enough.
They added a few Ultra Beasts. They added the Ultra Space wormhole
Mm.
stuff that you could travel through. The designs for the Necrozma forms are really
I
cool.
think they're cool. Yeah.
I do not like the final form of Necrozma
No, the
that they
giant
introduced.
glowing beast. No, not a fan.
It looks unfinished to me. Like the fact that it's like basically all the same glowing color is like I don't even know what I'm looking at right now.
Exactly. Like I thought when I saw like the box art where it's like they're basically armor digivolved.
Yeah, they
Um,
basically digivolved.
like I'm like
Metalgarurumon.
this is cool. Like they're being
Yeah,
like taken over by a Pokemon or they're armored by a different Pokemon. I'm like I like where this is leading me.
yeah,
But then like and like Necrozma alone, it's pretty cool. But then you get the glowing glow.
thing.
Yeah,
Like, what
and
even is
I
that?
think that's kind of a letdown in my opinion.
I agree. What do we want to put it then? Because
It's not as
it's
good, so it's ruled out as
yeah,
GG. Ruled out of GG.
it's basically a remake with some DLC.
Honestly,
The
I think it would either go in Unknown or Digimon, because it's just
I'm
like
I'm feeling that too. I almost want to put them in Digimon,
yeah, because
just because like there's
it's
just not enough to be their own games.
yeah, Is it fun to play? Yes, but to spend an additional $60 for like $10 worth of content.
Yeah.
All right, Pokemon White 2
White 2. And white.
and White, yeah.
Wow. Where did I put it? Okay, so we put black 2 in Temtem. And we
Temtem,
put black in unknown.
yeah. Should we just keep it the same? Because
I'm kind of thinking about
yeah,
it.
White 2, like we've been discussing with Ultra Sun and Moon, White 2 and Black 2, they have more content, more
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon. They change things around a little bit. So
Yep.
it's like it's a different game, but not so different.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes it like a Temtem level game.
It's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
They did all original Pokemon,
Yeah.
just like Gen 5 in general. Um, some of the Pokemon are really cool. Uh, Definitely not my favorite generation, but
No.
can say like it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think just this is Gen 7's the exception to the rule, but sequels generally are just
Yeah.
better.
Better.
You know.
I think like Gen 7's an exception to the rule. I
Mm-hmm.
think Gen 5 is a perfect like execution of the rule of making the sequel
Yeah,
better.
because it's an actual sequel.
Yeah.
Nice. All
All
right,
right.
we got
Pokemon
three
X
more.
and Pokemon Y,
Ev-
technically.
Everybody's favorite trio: X, Y, and Yellow.
All right. Let's start. Have you played either of those games? Let's start with that.
No.
It's okay. Neither have I.
Okay, good.
So, first
Great.
off, Gen 6 introduction of Mega Evolutions.
Love megas.
I think it's a great concept. I'm a
So
little
cool.
like I'm okay with Mega Evolutions. I liked the Z moves. I thought that was pretty cool. A little upset that they didn't keep the Mega Evolutions,
Very upset.
but I also
That
like
was another thing I'll say about Gen 8 is that they went from megas to Z moves, and they're like, well, if we do Dynamax,
yeah,
it's a combination of megas and Z moves, but it's worse.
I think like if they went back to Megas or kept Z moves, like something like that,
Yeah.
I would be like okay with it. But
Yep.
like Mega's great concept.
So good.
A certain type of Pokemon gets super armored and powered up for the battle, and you
Yep.
only get one.
Yep.
Z moves, your Pokemon uses a crazy move to possibly change the tide of the battle right off
One
the
time.
bat, one time.
Yeah.
You can Dynamax or Gigantamax a Pokemon one time during the battle for 3 turns.
Yep.
Sure, it
And
takes
then they
more
get
turns,
Z
depends.
move esque
Yeah,
moves. But
it's
it's just not as good.
it doesn't seem like worth it, you know?
Yeah. Like, uh, uh, yeah. It's like, it's just a worse, like, they combined two cool things and made it not cool
Yeah,
somehow. But, anyways, we're talking about Gen 6 here. Megas are cool.
Megas are cool.
The Pokemon designs in general, I think, are pretty
They're
cool.
pretty nice.
They
Yeah.
didn't have a lot of Pokemon this generation, though,
No, they didn't have a
overall.
lot, but they also like this was also the introduction of like the Kalos, where it was kind of like France. They went for
Yeah.
like a different layout where all focused around Lumo City. It was like I think this was a game where they were kind of testing out the different things for the
Hmm.
following generation.
I can agree with that.
Despite it already being its own generation, I
Yeah.
believe this was the first game on the 3DS, if I recall correctly.
Yes, I believe
So
so.
this is a we're gonna test out what the 3DS can do,
Yeah.
and then same with the Omega and Alpha. We're gonna test out what the 3DS can do. Sun comes around, we're gonna do some changes and really like put the DS to work.
Yes.
And then you get Sword and Shield. Where they're like, we have a Switch.
We don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. So the
Um,
X version exclusives
oh,
are
yeah.
Mega Charizard X, Staryu, Starmie, Pinsir, Mega Mewtwo X, Houndour, Houndoom, Poochyena, Mightyena, Aggron Lilleep, and Cradily, Anorith, and Armaldo. So you get all the Gen 3 fossils.
All the Gen 3s.
Sock, Swirlix, Slurpuff, Clauncher, Clawlitzer, Xerneas. And then
Okay.
I'll go into the next one, which is Y. So you get Mega Charizard Y, which in my opinion is the better Mega Charizard evolution.
Okay.
Shelder, Cloyster, Almanite line, Kabuto line. So you get the Gen 1 fossils, Mega Mewtwo Y, Heracross, Tyranitar line, Manectric line, Purloin Liepard, Throw, Spritzy, Aromatisse, Scrap, Dragalge, and Yveltal.
Okay.
I think I like the X Pokemon list better.
I think so too. It's another one of those things where I think the exclusives are better in X, but the legendary is better in Y,
Really?
which is tough for me. I really like Yveltal.
I like Xerneas more. At first I liked
Xerneas is really
Yveltal,
cool.
but Xerneas being just a big deer, and I
Yeah,
don't know why, but I love obnoxiously large hoof stock. It's got my vote.
it is very cool. I will admit, like it's one of the few generations where it's actually like a tough call for me, which
Yeah.
is better. I lean towards Yveltal. Um, I would say, what other things can I say about Gen 6?
I think
Shiny hunting is good
yeah, shiny
in that
hunting's good.
game.
I think
I think the story is interesting.
big thing is also mega evolutions.
Mega Evolutions really put it
I
up
think
there.
that's the big change where it's. I don't think a lot of people hated that change at first either. Like if I remember,
No, yeah.
it was like very well received, and then
I think it still is
you
for the
get
most
like
part.
Z moves, which some people are like, oh, this is cool, and then people are like, it's not mega evolutions,
Yeah.
and then you get Dynamaxing where everyone's like, come on,
Eh. Just bring Megas back. That's all we want.
yeah.
Um, I think a big turnoff for a lot of people for these games is the evil team.
Team
Um,
Flare,
Team
they're
Flare.
so fabulous though.
They're pretty fabulous, but
I'm not 100% sure they're evil goals, but let me tell you, I've never seen such a fashionable team until Team Skull in Gen 8.
I
In
mean,
Gen 7.
Team Skull is unrivaled.
Best. They just. It's your
I
boy,
mean,
Guzma.
they just like took over a town.
Yeah. That's kind of
Or like
legitimately evil.
that's pretty dope. There's just a lone police officer who's like, as a bunch of punks took over this town. It's like, oh, that's a real problem.
Yeah. Maybe they're the realest villains. We should we should rate the evil villain teams one
Rate the
day.
evil teams. That
We'll
would
get
be a good idea.
we'll get Tom on and we'll rate the evil villain teams.
Yeah. Shout out to our next video. But all right, let's put these somewhere. So I think we've decided X over Y.
Yes.
I wish Pokemon Z was an option, but
Pokemon
unfortunately, no.
Z, or still Logan's favorite. Oh, like when um, Alpha Sapphire and Omega
Mm-hmm.
Ruby came out, Logan kept saying, uh, he said Chaos Emerald as a joke, but which is
I
still
was like,
funny.
what? Beta Emerald?
It was I forget what it was. It might have been Delta Emerald after the Delta
Delta
episode.
Emerald. They did do the Delta episode, which is cool.
Yeah.
Um, Epsilon Emerald.
Ooh, that's a cool one. Hear me out. Phi.
Now you got it. Hear me out. Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield, Pokemon Gun.
No, Pokemon Trebuchet. Come on.
You're
That's
right.
still my favorite.
How foolish of me. A
All
dog just with a whip on it. All right. X above Y, but how high is X?
I would say minimum Temtem.
Minimum Temtem. Ooh. What could bring it down from these? What makes it not fit in with these?
Um, I think, I think this is, I think it is the first game, despite Mega Evolutions. It's the first real handholdy game. Because I
Mm,
remember watching a lot of playthroughs, and I was like,
yeah,
get with it. Like,
yeah, I can agree with
it was
that.
the first like generation that had like they were like through the entire game, you and me, because you
Yeah.
had the four rivals,
Oh,
friends,
yeah, you had all those
people that liked
annoying
you.
people. Oh my
Um,
god.
Professor
The
Sycamore though,
yeah,
and you got like I also I'm not a fan, despite love and Bulbasaur. I'm not a fan of how you basically before the first like significant events and stuff like that, you go see the professor and he's like, we're trying out this thing called Mega Evolution. You know who can
yeah,
Mega Evolve? These other starters. Oh,
one.
you liked the one you picked now? Are you gonna work it around what you? Are you gonna work this new one around what you already picked, or are you gonna just kind of be like for me, I would have definitely picked like Bulbasaur and then probably Froakie as my starters.
Yeah, that would
But
be cool.
like some people would have been like Chimchar and Fennekin, or not
Hmm.
Chimchar, Charmander and Fennekin.
Yeah, I also didn't like how they in Gen 6 I there was a real like oh, you remember Gen 1? Do you guys like Gen 1? Gen
Yeah,
1 was really cool. It's one of those games.
yeah. So I would say
Um,
probably Temtem then,
I'll put it in Temtem.
and then
And then you go right here.
and last but not
Nice.
least, Yellow.
Pokemon Yellow. Bam, because Pikachu's your starter. Boom.
So basically trying to play Ash.
Yeah,
Um,
put right there for now because I can't bring it underneath now.
yeah, you done goofed it up. Um, doesn't have any version exclusives. However, it
Okay.
has Pokemon that are not in Yellow.
Such as.
It's a very weirdest group. You can't get the Weedle line at all.
Why even play?
Yeah, but um you can get the Caterpie line because it's like be like Ash, have a Butterfree, it'll run away. Um, because you start with a Pikachu and you have to be like Ash/Red,
Hmm.
you cannot
They
get Raichu in the game. You can't catch a wild Pikachu, can't catch a wild Raichu, and you can't use a Thunderstone on your Pikachu.
so dumb. It's like fan fiction the game.
Yeah. You can't catch
Hmm.
coughing or wheezing. Why these two were
Why?
left out, couldn't tell you.
Because Team Rocket, obviously.
But why can you catch Arbok and Ekans?
'Cause- oh man. Wow.
And
That's pretty
then
lame.
Jinx. But I also think that was when they were redesigning Jinx possibly
Oh yeah, they're
to
like,
make it purple.
ooh, this is a problem.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Digimon.
I'm kind of leaning towards Digimon too. It's like
It it sounds just like a worse version of all the Gen 1 games.
it sounds like they took the Gen 1 games and they went, "You know how there's a show? You're going to follow the show now."
You kids like anime?
All right.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
So,
Okay,
let
we
me
did it.
let me start at the bottom before we release who our Castpod choices. We have the Japanese tier with the Japanese blue, green, and red games. Neither
Yeah,
of us speak or read Japanese, but they were included in the list. They got their own tier.
Gomenasai.
We don't, nothing
I
against
think
that, except we just can't understand them. Then we have the Digimon tier. We have Pokemon Leaf Green, because Lorelei and I have a hatred of each other.
yep.
We have Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because that's the remakes done worse.
Yes.
We have Follow the Anime, Pokemon Yellow.
Yep.
We have Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. They are for self-explanatory reasons. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, just look. Have you seen those games? Yeah.
And then there's the unknown tier where it's like kind of like a these are
Meh.
games. Meh.
Yeah.
Um,
Although I still cry about Ruby, but yeah.
Pokemon White and Pokemon Black. Not as good as the sequels. We got Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Red, which are like these are the baselines.
Yep.
Diamond and Pearl. They're not as good as their remakes or Platinum.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Pokemon Ruby, Lost in
Also, I
Pipes.
just don't really like Gen 4. Sorry, Tom. I just don't like it. There's too many evolutions. Go on.
Pokemon Ruby, not as good as Sapphire.
Rip.
Pokemon Sword and Shield, got real good points, but real bad points.
A lot of
Pokemon
bad
Y
points.
lost the version exclusive fight.
Yep.
Then we got Temtem, which is Pokemon Black and White 2, which are like
Better than the original.
properly done sequel games. Then we
Yeah.
got Fire Red, which is the Gen 1 remake
Mm-hmm.
without Lorelei hating me. We've got Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Once again, just a general upgrade and adding more content from the Gen 2 games, making it clearly better.
Yep.
But that's not that hard to do.
True. Got him.
We've got Pokemon Let's Go. You want your Pokemon to follow you properly? Pokemon Let's Go.
Rest in peace, Gen 8.
you want you want to play Pokemon Go, but from the comfort of your couch? Pokemon Let's Go.
Yep.
Um, Pokemon Omega Ruby. I think also just lost the version exclusive debate.
Basically.
Pokemon Platinum. You want to play Diamond and Pearl, but you want to have Tropius?
Yeah.
Pokemon Platinum. Pokemon Sapphire. Good game all around. Could be better. And
Yep.
then they made a better one.
So there you go.
And then Pokemon X. You want to go to France and play Pokemon and then catch a fairy deer? We've got you.
Yeah. Inclusion of fairies, we didn't really talk about that,
Yeah,
but
added
that's
a
another
whole
thing.
new type for the first time since Gen 2.
Bold.
All right, and then we've got the GG tier,
Oh
these will be
yeah.
selected for Castpod's favorite Pokemon game.
Of
We
all.
we've got Alpha Sapphire, good remake, making Gen 3 better, more Pokemon, catching legendaries, more game mechanics, mega evolutions.
Yep.
We've got Pokemon Crystal, the first combination game, and it's got little animations that are better, starting to get
Mm-hmm.
color, starting to just do better all around. We got Pokemon Emerald. Great time. You've got, instead of picking between, oh, I want them to dry up the world, or I want them to wet the world, uh, it's, I want them to all stop it. Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. We're going to introduce a whole new region, a whole new mechanic with Z moves, whole new regional variants. You're going to be
Yep.
able to move like never before. You want to surf in between the islands? Do it.
Mm-hmm. You got Ultra Beast.
You got Ultra Beast. You've
And
got Alolan Executor. I feel like that alone is just a good concept.
just some really well designed Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Good references to like the
Yeah.
culture that it's coming from. I mean, just like
And also
kind of
just not your traditional fight 8 gyms, get 8 badges,
yeah.
win.
Tried
And
something different.
ride Pokemon. I forgot about that. You want to ride a
Yeah.
Tauros through boulders? Done.
Yep.
You want
Or
to ride a
fly on a
Charizard?
Charizard.
You want to ride on a Lapras?
I mean, that's just dope.
Yeah.
All right. So I know what I want to pick.
I know what I'm going to pick too.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Should we say it on the count of three?
On the count of 3.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Emerald.
Alpha Sapphire.
Ooh.
Fudge. I knew you were gonna pick Emerald too.
Oh yeah.
Man.
All right. You get. I feel like we always change how we decide between the two, so
Every time, yeah.
every time. So I'm gonna start it now, starting with
Okay.
this episode, and then we'll forget about it for the next time we do this.
Correct.
We each make 2 points.
Okay.
You make 1 good point about your game,
Okay.
and one bad point about my game, and
Okay.
vice versa.
All right.
All right.
I'm down.
What?
Um. So
Ooh,
1 good point, 1 bad point.
yes. How cheesing it do I want to go? I'll see what
Mm,
your points are, and then I'll decide how.
okay. My good point for Alpha Sapphire is I feel as though it is a combination of all of like the best bits of previous Pokemon games
Mm-hmm.
shoved into an older generation game.
All right.
Like I could go on, but
Yeah. You got 1 point.
yeah, I mean, I think you get the idea from that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one bad point about Emerald. Hmm, that's tough because I mean, it's still Gen 3.
Yeah.
Oh man. Ooh. Um, you make 1 good point while I think of the bad point.
All right. I'll make a bad point for yours
Okay.
to inspire some hatred.
Okay.
Um. So I've got the original Gen 3 combination game. Your game is like, let's throw in a bunch of stuff and see what sticks. Does it
Okay.
stick well? I'm gonna say no for the moment, just because I want Emerald to be the winner,
Just for the sake of argument, yeah.
just for the sake of argument. But it's like we're gonna add in all these legendaries from other generations. We're gonna add in only a couple Pokemon. You want to fly? You're gonna fly. You want to swim? You're gonna swim. You
Okay.
want to
Okay.
struggle getting away from Pacific Log Town? Have fun on the currents again.
True. True. Hmm.
Like, at least give me a Pokemon that I can ride that'll go against the current. You know? Like,
No, that doesn't exist.
let me ride a
Impossible.
Sharpedo, because you've seen in the Isle of Armor
Oh my
DLC
god.
where they just.
Unstoppable. Okay, 1 bad point about Pokemon Emerald. Um, not enough Rayquaza.
I would like
Cool.
for you. I would like it for to be my good point.
Yes.
Isn't Rayquaza your favorite Pokemon? And the
Yes.
box art
Yes, I
of
knew you were gonna
this
say it,
generation.
but Rayquaza isn't your starter for Pokemon Emerald, so bad game. 0 out of 10.
It's not in your starter for Alpha Sapphire either.
We don't need to talk about that. All right, I will agree. I think Pokemon Emerald, purely because of the box art, deserves the #1 spot.
The second you didn't say Pokemon Emerald, I knew that my good point was going to be
I just
isn't your favorite
the
Pokemon.
the Gen 3 remakes are so good.
They're good.
I will say still the Gen 3 remakes are probably my favorite games of all. But for Castpod,
I won't
Pokemon Emerald is our representative.
I won't deny the Gen 3 remakes great time, but there's something about Pokemon Emerald, like playing it on my light blue DS, not DS, Game Boy,
Hmm.
and it's like it's a good time all around, regardless.
Well, we did it. We have listed all of the Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm.
So if you enjoyed not seeing most of them, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and comment and say, hey, what happened to the other ones? And maybe we'll tell you someday.
in a minimum of a year.
Yeah. So, also definitely leave us some hate about how your favorite game isn't at the top. Certain people watching.
Yeah, it's cool.
Um,
I mean, nobody likes Gen 2, so
yeah,
it
so
deserves
that's
to be
not
at the
going to be a
bottom of the
problem.
list.
Yeah, or no, it's not a problem. Gen 2, we all just agree is really bad. So tweet at us at Castpod Tweeter. Leave comments on our Castpod channel on YouTube and subscribe and check out the other things that we do because we also talk about things that aren't
Yeah,
ranks like conspiracies and
conservation.
conservation
Yeah,
and just absolutely nothing
honestly,
and
absolutely
games.
nothing. Yep,
Yes.
and games. And next week we'll hopefully have some Pokemon Snap videos starting to come out.
Yeah. So if you
We're
like
gonna
Pokemon,
we're gonna go on a photo safari. I'm
exactly.
practicing my bad explorer accent as we speak.
Oh my god, they killed Kenny, is what it sounds like.
Good.
Um, so yeah, check us out and thank you for watching. We will see you next time.